Hello and welcome everyone. Today I am going to do another rhetorical analysis in front of you. So, these are the lines that I have taken today. These are from Shelley's Ode to the West Wind, and we are going to find and explain the figures of speech that can be found in these four lines. First, if we look at the beginning, there is "O wild west wind." It is an address. The poet is addressing to the natural phenomenon, the west wind. The poet is calling it by name and expressing his emotions towards it as if it is a person. So, this kind of addressing is, as we know, called an apostrophe in rhetorical terms. So, this is an example of apostrophe. Next, the phrase wild west wind. There are three words and all of them are monosyllabic. So, stressful words, stressful syllables, all three. And at the beginning of all those stressful syllables, there is this W sound. So, this is an example of alliteration. Autumn has been personified because the poet is talking about autumn's being, as if autumn is a living entity, not a season. It is a living entity and the poet is talking about its breath. So, naturally, autumn has been personified. And as we are talking about breath, breath is, to all living beings the essential sign of living and the requirement, essential requirement for living. Without breath, we cannot live. So, the west wind is being compared with breath. What breath is to us, west wind is to autumn, according to the poet. So, autumn's breath is west wind. This is implicit comparison. The poet has not used any sign of comparison here, has not explained the point of comparison. So, naturally, this is implicit comparison and this is a metaphor. Moving on to the next lines. Thou from whose unseen presence the leaves dead are driven. If we break our reading at leaves dead, then we'll get no sense of meaning here. The meaning is not complete until we read up to driven. So, the line ends with dead, but the meaning is not completed. It is continued onto the next line. So, if we read thou from whose unseen presence the leaves dead and stop there, there is no meaning. No even part of meaning, no. But if we read thou from whose unseen presence the leaves dead are driven, then we get a meaning. So the meaning continues, but there is a line break. This kind of continuation is called enjambment. The poet uses a simile when he says, like ghosts from an enchanter fleeing. Now, according to superstitious beliefs, an enchanter is a person who has the particular ability to drive away ghosts or spirits from people who are supposedly affected by it. So, the west wind here is being compared to an enchanter, and the dead leaves are compared to ghosts. As ghosts are frightened by the presence of the enchanter and his incantations, whatever. So are the dead leaves, frightened and fleeing because of the forcible west wind. So it is an explicit comparison. In fact, there are two comparisons parallelly going on. Ghosts compared to dead leaves, enchanter compared to west wind. The whole situation, ghosts fleeing from an enchanter, is compared to another situation, that is leaves fleeing because of the west wind. So this is explicit comparison, it is a simile. Moving on, in the next line, the last one, we find that the poet uses the particular conjunction and too many times. We only needed one time, that is yellow, black, pale, and hectic red. It would have been grammatically correct. But because of maintaining the metrical scheme and given effect, the poet has used yellow and black and pale and hectic red. So more than once the conjunction and is used. It is an example of polysyndeton. So these are the things we can find from these four lines. So I think it is helpful to you. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe.